Hello guys, today's topic is going to be about the weirdest things professional fighters bought. When you have millions of dollars in your pocket and you don't know what to do with it, what would you do? Spend it on extravagant things? Well, these fighters spend it on the weirdest things that you can even imagine. So without wasting time, let's start the video. Ellis Coleman. Meet Ellis Coleman, aka the Flying Squirrel, an American wrestler who's the 2012 Olympic Gold Medalist. When he was in high school, he won the National Wrestling Championship in third place. A guy who's known for grabbing the flying opponents and flying like a squirrel. So what was his weird purchase? Yeah, he bought a flying squirrel in 2012 before the Olympics just because it was referencing his name. He named his flying pet Rocky and told the media that he wants to bond with Rocky and that one day when we're fully bonded, I'll keep him in my pocket and walk around. He added that it still bites me on my hand and that I give him apples to eat. It's unknown if he still has Rocky, but it was a really weird purchase. Evander Holyfield. Evander Holyfield is an American professional boxer. You don't know him? Well, it's because he retired in 2011. In his timeline, he was best known for holding on to different titles. He was an undisputed champion at cruiserweight. He's still the only fighter who holds on to undisputed titles at 2 different weight classes. Evander purchased a huge mansion that hardly fit his pocket. It's so big you can easily fit 3 houses in it. It has around 109 rooms in total. I wonder what he would do with all those rooms. It also has 2 bowling alleys. This mansion cost him around $20 million, one that he won't be able to sustain in the future. He also had to pay $155,000 annually in taxes. When, unfortunately, his career met its end, it became impossible to pay those taxes, so he had to close it down for $7 million. It's indeed a really weird purchase on his behalf. Mike Tyson. Who doesn't know Mike Tyson, the best and most furious fighter of all time? An important question is, what do you know him for? For his furious stance or his weird expensive purchases? I know him for both. Mike is a man of tigers. Yeah, that's true. He purchased 3 white Bengal tigers for $70,000 each. Not only is purchasing them expensive, but taking care of them is also expensive. Each month he had to spend $4,000 to keep them content all the time. In 2019, he had to sell the only remaining of them after it tore off a woman's hand. As an apology and not to file a report against Tyson, he paid that woman about $250,000. Now he remembers them as his worst mistake. He had that tiger for around 16 years. Mike bathing in gold. Mike never gets bored with the exorbitant display of his wealth. Mike bought a bathtub made of gold for his late wife, Robin Givens. It cost a whopping $2 million to make, but a year later in 1989, they got divorced. But what about this whooping golden bathtub? Well, he kept bathing in it till 2013 when he sold the bathtub for $1.2 million to a British billionaire. If I were to start describing his whole expensive and weird stuff, this video will get too long to cover for you. Rey Mysterio. Of course, who doesn't know Rey Mysterio? The little man from Mexico is an all-time most influential wrestler. He's best known for performing under the sky on WWE Raw. He's in love with comics, but that doesn't describe his weird hobby, or an impressive hobby. In his 4,301 square foot home in San Diego, he has an impressive fleet of swords. This gives him uniqueness. He has an amazing trippy sword, one that he bought in Japan, which later got imported. He even invited the star Dwayne Johnson to his home to sign his very sword. This is indeed a very rare and influential hobby. AJ Styles. He's another name down on the list. For around 15 years, he's been rocking Impact Wrestling and New Japan, but lately he hit the hot spot of WWE and is rocking it. His weird hobby is playing video games. I'm sorry, it isn't. The weird thing is that he bought a video game traveling set. AJ likes to be on the move. While doing so, he doesn't hold back on video games. He made this game set for a handsome amount of money in New Japan. It only plays Xbox, which is kind of a bummer, because now PS5 is rocking the world of consoles and gaming. During his free time between shows, he'll just sit around and do nothing but play games. Zack Ryder and Curt Hawkins. Zack Ryder and Curt Hawkins, the great tag team competitors in the WWE and ECW will ever see, they are the two-time Raw Tag Team Champions. They held these titles for some long terms. But let's see what these superstars have got under their sleeves. They together own so much WWE memorabilia, just like they were close friends, they went on a killing spree to get these. They would do anything to get their hands on these collectibles. They've been doing it for many years now. You'll find them close friends during and after the match, but when it comes to these collectibles, they would become rivals. Both of them trying to get the upper hand on the rare and valuable items. They've spent tens of thousands of dollars on these assets. Once Ryder tweeted that he was interested in a rare element on eBay, it was then Hawkins that did everything he could just to get his hands on it. When other wrestlers will make fun of their weird hobby, they just don't care about it. Floyd Mayweather. If you were to be a billionaire, what would matter the most to you? I bet you won't say a huge collection of designer watches. If you did, then you're on the same page with Floyd Mayweather. He was a great boxer who didn't lose a single match of his professional career, 48-0. And for some of you who don't know, he has 2 private planes, 3 mansions, and a fleet of cars. But considering he's a billionaire, I guess it's okay though. The weirdest purchase of all time is his collection of watches. He has 40 designer watches consisting of around $6.4 million. His insane fleet of watches consists of Rolex, Audemars, Piguet, Axiom, Frank Muller's, and the list carries on. And if that wasn't enough, he has a wristwatch named the Billionaire, which cost him around $18 million. Floyd is weird about his watch collection. Remember Mick Foley? Well, Foley's story is a bit disappointing. During his career in professional wrestling, he hesitated to spend money. He'd go to cheap hotels and save as much money as possible. All these hustles were not to be impractical. He did all these so he could take care of his family at an elderly age. Now that he's old, he takes care of his family, but his most weird purchase is his collection of Santa Claus items. In his old age, he became fond of St. Nick. So in a private room, he has a huge collection of Santa Claus items costing hundreds of dollars. It's weird to see that he'll just save as many pennies as he can, while now he spends hundreds of dollars on his collection. That's it, you've reached the end of this video. So what was the weirdest on our list? Don't forget to mention them in the comments section. If you liked our video, press the like button and subscribe to the channel for more sporty videos.